What's going on, guys? I'm super excited today. I've got Vicki here. We just closed on her cabin here in the Smokies. Guys, I met Vicki and her husband. She's way more cooler than her husband, so I didn't even allow him to hop on the call today. But we got connected on Facebook, and they'd done some homework on working with real estate agents and interrogated me, made sure I knew what the heck I was talking about. Wanted to work with with an agent that understood a little bit about cash flow. And so, anyways, guys, so this is actually our first episode of investing in the Smokies. And so I recorded one other one in my plane the other day, and just so happened that none of the audio actually took. And so we've got all this really cool video of me talking to my other buddy, and none of the audio took. So anyways, Vicki, I'm super excited to have you here. So we just closed. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself and the property we just closed on.
Well, first, Jay, you didn't tell me this was your first episode, so thank you. Totally honored. So welcome. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you. All right. So we have one cabin already in the Smokies that we closed on last year. Actually almost exactly a year ago. And we just closed on a cabin yesterday. So we're about to go live with number 2.
Heck yeah. So she's being modest, guys. Tell them a little bit about the property and some of y'all's plans. I shared a video the other day because I thought we closed on it on Friday. That's the story of my life.
You were just excited. It's okay.
I was excited. I'm honestly, I think, so for those you guys watching it, the goal for this series is to help other people learn that you can invest in real estate on either a small scale or a big scale. You guys started with one, and I'm not going to steal your thunder, but you guys have looked for a while and finally bought. But we got them a 4-bedroom cabin that has an outside pool. It's got a like barn, garage that they have some cool plans on doing. But tell everybody a little bit about it, and then what you guys plan on doing to the property.
Yeah. So my favorite part is going to Jay with my famous spreadsheet, 15 properties. Here's my top 5. He told me to narrow it down to 3. So we went from there. Super knowledgeable working with Jay. So that was awesome. He gave us some good advice and feedback on the cabins we were looking at. And the one that we did get, I cannot wait, you guys. It does, as Jay said, it has the in-ground pool, outdoors heated pool. It also has this whole huge outdoor backyard space where we're going to have a fire pit and entertaining space. And then, as he said, the barn is a huge oversized 2-car garage with a loft. So we're actually going to turn that into an open air entertainment space. We're trying to go a little unique on it. So we'll see how it turns out. We're going to start construction on that next week. I cannot wait. Thinking probably a theater room upstairs. And we've got some other outdoor space there. It's really cool. We're actually up on a mountaintop, but we've got some flat space next to the barn. So we've got just endless options of what to do with that. It's kind of rare to have that much land that's flat on top of a mountain. We've got 5 acres. So yeah, just a ton of opportunity there. I cannot wait to see it done.
I'm going to try to do something real quick. Boom. So can you see that screen?
Yes.
Oh, listen, this is the first time I've ever done it. So I'm going to scroll through like 2 or 3 photos. I don't want to give them too much, but just give you a little bit of the view. That's the barn, the pool. There's the pool. The barn and the house, and then the pool, hot tub out there as well. So I'm going to stop. Let me do stop share. And I think we're back. So I can't give them all the details on it because I want them to be able to see it as it's finished. But my favorite thing, probably still to this day, my favorite property I bought was my first property. It was 3 little cabins on one parcel. I was scared to death. I mean, I was terrified. In fact, it was doing $90,000 forever. This old couple owned it. They'd owned it forever, and but it was my first deal in the Smokies, and I had bought a short-term rental that wasn't performing great at the time, but I was told, man, this property's worth more than what you're buying it for. And so, me being an eager, hungry, ambitious guy, but also a negotiator, I went under contract with the deal. Almost killed the deal 5 times. No BS. And but I bought these 3 little cabins, and I've renovated it. I've restained them. I've had like hog wire railing, redid inside like paint, and then appliances, everything. Just get basically a full refresher. And that property, went from 600,000, probably have 700 in it. That now it's probably worth or just appraised for 1.5 million, and went from 90,000 of income to like 155,000 of income. So I love, like, so when Vicki and David reached out, which David doesn't get to be a part of anything because, like I said, he's not nearly as cool, and really Vicki's the boss. Can I say that? I said
no, but that's okay. You can say it.
Sorry, but when they sent me they actually did a whole lot more. That when she said she had a little spreadsheet, guys, it wasn't a little spreadsheet, it was a monster spreadsheet. In fact, it took 3 minutes to download to my computer because there was so much. I may be joking now, but no, so she was super detailed, which I love that, because I'm not the details guy. I'm the guy that's going to go out and try to negotiate the best deal. And she did all the homework. And so so Vicki, you don't know this, but I talk about my ideal client profile, like my perfect client. And my perfect client is someone who's educated in space, that has the money to buy the type of property that they're looking for, that has a sense of urgency, and that knows what they want, right? And they can't be an asshole. That's like the last stipulation, and you definitely passed the test on that one.
Thank you.
But y'all fit that, and I preach that to my team every single day, is working with the right type of people. And I think that's really why God put us in the, I think there's a reason that we met, because of that. And then she put together 15 properties, and me knowing who I am and knowing the market, I said, let's go to your top 5 and let's analyze those. And of the top 5, I want you to go out. And so I think we maybe talked about the top 5, and we quickly broke it to the top 3. And all of them were unique value add properties. And so, like, the thing that I admire about you guys the most, and seriously, like, I've worked with a lot of people that have bought turnkey that have nothing to do, is the fact that you guys are taking, ideas up here, and that you're coachable on it. And then you're gonna make something that what most people overlooked into a property that I think you guys will end up making so much more money than a traditional property, because you are going to be able to put your own spin to it, and you're taking feedback from other people that are already out here. And so I can't wait. And I think that it's one of the most fun things to do, is when you take a property that's not just completely ready and you renovate it, you give it the love and passion that you want. You really you align a lot with another one of my clients. Her name's Lori, and I'm doing this call with her next week. But I'll have to connect you guys, because y'all.
Yeah, definitely. No, I appreciate that feedback, and that has for sure been one of our approaches. We've been looking for value add properties, and one of the keys for us too was, not only do we not necessarily want turnkey, because we wanted to be able to put our own touch on it, and we're willing to put the work in, right, in the time, but also we were looking at things that weren't brand new on the market, right? So, like you mentioned, we looked for a while. We were really patient. Even with our first cabin, we did spend a couple months researching. Once we decided on the Smokies, spent quite a while researching it. And in both cases, we made offers on homes that had been on the market for quite a while. As you know, Jay, this one had been vacant for 6 months already. I know I can't even count how many people probably looked at it and passed it over. But just having the option now, like with a blank slate and so much of it, I can't tell you, I'm so excited. And I think it is going to be amazing. I'm grateful that we stumbled across it and that you were able to support us. Our biggest thing too is, like, we just want to be a blessing to others with the cabins. I mean, of course, we're going to make some revenue off it, but we get to come enjoy it ourselves, and we get to be a blessing by hosting people out in the Smokies too. We just love it there so much. So, yeah,
dude, I love that so much. Y'all just need to move out of Illinois and move to Tennessee. We're more
someday.
Yes. So you established that you guys bought y'all's first property last year.
Correct.
1 year later, you buy your second property. What was the inspiration that that led you to buying here? Short-term rentals versus any other types of rentals.
Yeah, of course. So I guess it probably all started when we first moved from our primary residence. We had a long-term rental. My husband and I had talked over the years about getting back into rentals. We sold that one right at a time where it was beneficial for us and the buyers. So we talked about getting back into real estate. To be honest, I didn't think managing a long-term rental sounded very sexy, and I didn't want to do it. So I kept working my 9 to 5. We found ourselves in a position where we had a family health issue, and I really couldn't be at work anymore. It just was way too much trying to get to and from appointments every day. And so I did resign from my job, and that timing worked out well. We had started talking more about short-term rentals as an option. Sounded much more exciting. My background is in customer service and in management. And so just kind of that whole, I absolutely love dealing with my guests. I know some people, they don't like that part of it, but it's for sure my favorite part. I love being part of their vacation. So it just seemed more exciting for me due to short-term rentals. And then when we started looking at markets, we first came to the Smokies about 10 years ago, I think it was, maybe 11 now. And it was actually the first vacation I ever went on that we left. And my husband said, "Do you want to come back?" And I said, yes. We've been to Hawaii and some other amazing places. And I was like, it was great. Let's go different next time. But I just felt like the Smokies have so much, Jay. Like, I love the hiking. That's my absolute favorite. And there's so much more to do there as well. They offer a little bit of everything. So yeah, so that's when the journey started. It was time to go from there. So
isn't that funny how that happens? So many people come here, and I've lived all over the United States. I've lived in multiple places. From all over East Coast. Here, Connecticut, New York, Arkansas, Texas, Louisiana. Yeah, so I've been all over the place, and I always migrate back. At 21, I was living in New York, or living in Nashville, and then I moved to New York in Connecticut area. So, seeing different places, and there's something about East Tennessee. It really is, it's God's country. And, I thought for sure, like, I would move somewhere else, but now, I'm, got a family, I've got 2 small kids, and I couldn't imagine raising them anywhere else other than East Tennessee. So it is really a blessing, and it's a blessing to help other people get to experience that. Some people, they don't have the opportunity to live, and, maybe they've got a really good stable job, which most people do, and they have a, clientele base in a certain place, and they don't have the luxury of doing that. But being able to come here, I don't know if you knew this, Vicki, but we Sevier County as a whole gets more visitors than Yosemite National Park, Yellowstone National Park, and the Grand Canyon combined.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I just found this out the other day, but we get more visitors per year than Disney World.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Blew my mind. And I think it's, there's I think there's something like the 18 states within a day's drive. So essentially half the United States can get here within a day's drive. So I definitely can understand that. So what was the the final thing that was like, okay, hey, it is, short-term rental. It is the Smoky Mountains. That's where we want to go. Like, what was that aha moment for you?
The aha moment was probably being home, not having a 9 to 5, and knowing I wanted to still do something to bring in income for the family. And something that would allow me flexibility, right? Something that I wouldn't have to be at the office every day. And something that long-term, and this is why we've always talked about real estate, was something that would allow us to have generational wealth and teach our kids about it too. So it's kind of this crux where we were going through the family health issue. I needed flexibility. It gave us that opportunity to start the business and to teach the kids about it too. So my 12-year-old, literally will sit down on my computer, write his own. He's been Googling all these ideas for the barn. He's got games picked out. He's going to design that whole entertainment space. It's been really fun to bring the kids along on the journey and help them learn about it as well. So.
Oh, it's huge. And you know what I love about you guys. So you have 2 different types of investors. You have active investors, and you have just passive investors. They want, literally, I've got some people that all they want to do is check off 3 boxes. Is it getting this return? What stability does it have? What's the occupancy? What's the ADR? And that's all they care about. And they look at it strictly on a cash flow. And then there's other people like you that have found out that, hey, although I'm not in this business anymore, I can treat this like a business and
Yeah.
run it just like a business, in which you've done. You're doing a phenomenal job. Clearly, you've been able to scale it. Now you're buying your second one, and I think that's more powerful than when we work with big large group that buys multiple cabins at a time, which is awesome, and we're super blessed and thankful for those type scenarios. But when you can take a a family or an individual that wants to provide better lifestyle for their family, and then not only do that, but being able to bring the kids involved and get them bought in. I mean, I think it's just a really cool experience. And I do it. My kids are little. I mean, I've got a 2 year old, or about to be 2 year old, and then a little baby. But they we've taken them all the cabins. They go on the appointments, and so sometimes they love it being in the car, and sometimes they're knocked out in the back, and sometimes they're pissed because they're in the car and I'm ready to go home. So, but
Just wait
tell
till they're
us.
teenagers, Jay. That's fun too.
Oh, heck, well, at that time I can tell them to shut up at least. So
You met mine.
if they're crying in the back seat, I can tell them to be quiet, or they can throw their AirPods in and they're like, "Dad, I don't even want to hear you anymore." So, so
Exactly.
so walk through. Obviously, it's going well. You guys y'all closed on your other one, and then
Mhm.
do you have a Facebook page or anything like that where people could come and see
I
your
do.
property?
Yeah. Vacation Adventures by Vicki. It's my Facebook page, and it's the website as well.
Awesome. Okay.
VacationAdventuresbyVicki.com. So
And I'll put that when I post this live, I'll tag that so people can actually see it. And what I've done, guys, too, is I gave Vicki some homework so that they have to document the process of the journey, because to let people see the before and after. People love that, and especially anyone that's going to go out and stay at that property, to where they
yeah.
can see the future. But tell everybody, really my goal is to help novice investors learn how to go out and build cash flow and long-term wealth within short-term rentals.
Mhm.
And in my opinion, the best market in the country. I'm probably a little biased about that, but how's your experience been thus far? And, how would you say that's impacted your life?
Yeah, I mean, it's been an awesome experience so far. Like I said, once we decided on the market, we knew we were all in, right? So the first cabin we bought is on over 12 acres, and the second cabin's on over 5 acres. And they both have the possibility to add some cabins to them if we want to in the future. So that's probably where we'll see some of our growth. But it's just been awesome to be able to follow whatever God has planned for us, right? We originally thought we were going to build on our existing property first. So we just have been pivoting as things have come across the table, doing our own homework and research, using your guidance, Jay. A lot of other great resources out there online that we've been using. So it's been an awesome experience. It's been a journey, like right when I think I have something planned, God changes my path, and, I'm going a
Curveball.
different curveball for sure. But it's been fun. It's actually been a huge lesson in patience for me. I used to be a huge planner. I liked, knowing exactly what was coming next. So I've had to learn to deal with a lot more uncertainty in that regard, but to try and
Good.
take it as a positive, right? And what can I do with that? So it's been good. It's been a really good experience. And the other part of it that I'm really super grateful for is that we've been able to get involved in our community there. Our first cabin is in Cosby, and the second Sevierville. So I'll be reaching out and making, some more contacts in that area. But we've been really blessed to find some people on our team who are fellow Christians, and to also partner with some charities in the area. So I'm really proud of that and grateful for that. I wouldn't be able to do that if God hadn't put us into this situation, right? To have these cabins and connect with those people. So yeah, it's been great.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I'm a big believer, and it's funny. It's like, it's more and more here recently. It's like, um, there's a level of where you have biblical scripture and business, and so I always split the two. And the more, and so you live, and like, you want to be this personality, and then, but in business, there's so many different terms or ways that you can co-mix that. And so I love the fact that you're doing that for charity. I actually, um, my buddy has as a nonprofit in the Emerald Coast, and it's kind of like the Make-A-Wish Foundation, but it's a smaller one. And they're one of their things is to provide really unfortunate families that may not have a lot of life expectancy, specifically younger adults and kids. And we've had the opportunity to We've got, time scheduled for people to come in and use our properties. Helps us out, makes us feel good about it. I mean, and especially I would much rather give a blessing to someone, especially if I've got a vacancy. It's like if it's going to be, I might as well go be able to bless another family, and that's really cool. And then y'all's property, they've got a 4-bedroom property that will have outside space. There's so much to do, and I don't want to give all of it away, but pool, views, outside entertainment, and so the things I think of is options, and so I'm not going to go to, but I definitely could see people gathering for family events. I could definitely see businesses coming to our property and hosting like a weekend workshop to where people are collaborating and getting to know each other better and trying to build the businesses as well. And so I think you'll see that more and more, and it'll even be more blessings for you there. So you guys, we got about 5 more minutes, and so I got a couple more questions I want to throw at you. But what is your goal? Financially within these cabins, like what is your ultimate outcome? Because we have some people that, they want to get to a certain income goal. We have other people that ultimately want to get to a certain amount to where they have that, reserve monthly to where one day they can quit their jobs. Other people can quit their jobs and stuff like that. So like, what are you guys ultimately trying to accomplish in your short-term rental business?
Yeah, we really want a balance between both, right? We want the cash flow to be there, but we also want the growth equity in the properties. Like I said, we're looking at it also for generational wealth, not just for today. And, of course, we use dynamic pricing. We are looking to get a good nightly rate, but we're not looking to gorge people either, right? Like we want them to enjoy their vacation and still be able to go out and do things in town when they're there, right? And not have to spend everything on their stay. We're just trying to find that balance, to be honest. And like everything in life, there is no perfect balance, but obviously it needs to cash flow. We don't want to take a hit on it. We also want to be able to use it ourselves throughout the year, which we've been really blessed so far to do with our other cabin. So my kids love it there. So we just kind of want to keep that balance going, right? Where we're cash flowing. And then honestly, kind of were saying before, just we're waiting to see what our next step is. Like we've got plans, but it's probably not going to happen what we plan. Like we're willing.
I may come up with this big aha idea for you guys and throw another curveball at you.
Aren't you going to bring your constructions, our current property, right?
Hey, listen, absolutely, yeah, no doubt. There's so many different avenues. So what would be, what are some, maybe like a quick tip or strategy that you guys do to improve y'all's rentals to make them whether more attractive to guests or get a better ADR for the properties? What are a couple of little tricks that you guys have done that have worked really well for you?
Yeah, I think my probably 2 most important things that I've learned for me personally, right? I mean, there's different kinds of investors, like you said, but for me, like I'm about the vacation experience and I'm really passionate about my guests having a good stay. So I've put a whole bunch of things into the cabin, just basically everything I could think of. I ordered a coat rack yesterday and a new emergency fire ladder for the bedroom, right? So safety wise and comfort wise, I've got a little bucket of extra supplies. I've got hiking sticks, dog leashes, like everything that we thought of. And after staying there ourselves, it gives you a good idea. Like, oh, well, it would have been nice to have this here. I want my guests to be able to come in, bring their clothes, get their groceries. We offer concierge services if they want groceries delivered, all things like that, just to try to make, so anything just to try to make their vacation memorable and easy for them. And the other part that kind of ties in with that is I feel like our team, like my cleaning team, my handyman team, my construction team, like they're my people. And I try to make sure I have a really great relationship with them, that they know how important they are to me. If my cleaner doesn't care about my property and she's just doing her job, it's going to show, right? And many times she's the only person who touches my property in between turns. So her knowing how important she is to me and how much I value her, I feel like that just really makes a difference. She's really aware of staging the property and having things back where they belong. So the guest experience is what I've set it up to be, basically. So again, there's different kinds of management, and nothing against people who use a property company or have less amenities, but I know how I like to vacation, and I don't want run roll of toilet paper and have to run to Walmart in the middle of the night. So, my guests get all that stuff when they're there. So, yeah.
So my team, y'all better watch this and take those away, take those tidbits way. So Erica and Vernon, I need you guys to check this out and make sure that we're implementing that. Now, I love that. I think that there's, I was reading a book the other day, and it was talking about like how to lead other people. And, sometimes, people need affirmations in different ways. And so what this is truly going in and treating, your investment as a business. Not only that, but I mean, you said, this is a takeaway. I let my team, my handyman's my team, my cleaners are my team, right? Like all these people are my team. You messaged me and you said I'm stuck with you guys, and honestly, I'm grateful for that. But I mean, even hearing you that, I mean, I need to go do a better job of that. I need to let my team know that, hey, if it wasn't for you guys, this wouldn't be possible. And it's really easy to get caught up in the daily minutia and forget that, and maybe that there is something that's forgotten. We can be really quick to condemn other people versus, hey, mistakes happen. And so outside of even recording this, like I respect that so much. So last thing before we have to go, what is the best piece of advice that you could tell anyone else that's looking to, buy here in the Smokies, maybe somebody that's been looking, that's on the fence? Like, what piece of advice would you give them?
That's a tough question for me, just because I feel like there's so much to say to that. First of all, I've already said it. I love the Smokies. So I think if there's somewhere to invest, some people talk about market saturation, but you look at the amount of travelers to the Smokies and where are they going to stay? They need accommodations. So, I would counter that argument. But I guess in general, just, you're not going to know everything. And I know I hesitated for a long time on investing. I was very nervous about it. I also was like, with our first one, I'm like, we're not buying another one until I prove I can do this. Like, I have to know I can manage the cabin myself. And it was like a month in, and I'm like, okay, are we going to start looking at it? So it's like, once I got that bug. So I guess, like, I don't want to say jump off the deep end, but like, just do it. If you're looking and you feel in your gut, it's a good decision, work with somebody knowledgeable. Again, Jay, you were super helpful for us. We had some experience, but not the experience you have. Right. And so working with somebody who can bring that knowledge and experience to the table. And then, like I said, if your gut's telling you it's good, go for it. If it's not, well, then wait, don't make an unwise decision that you're not going to sleep at night. But again, like I did have a lot of hesitation, but at the end of the day, like I knew it was going to be good, and it has been. So
yeah. That's awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and say quick disclaimer, guys. Me nor Vicki are giving any financial advice. Always consult with a professional. We are not tax attorneys. We are not CPAs, anything like that. It's so funny that you have to say stuff like that these days, but no, I mean, Vicki, this is my pleasure. Honestly, it's
likewise. Thank you.
My goal is to help other, entrepreneurs at any level of their business, be able to scale and get to see the rewards. I mean, this stuff has really changed my life. Like so much so. I mean, literally, my life will never be the same because of the risk that I took buying here in the Smokies, and the since turned into dozens of properties. And so I'm grateful to get to record this, guys. So we're going to tag Vicki's property so that you guys can see. Hopefully you guys can comment and encourage her to post progress pictures as the property is coming along, so they can see the before and after. But guys, thanks for tuning in. This is the first of many more. And Vicki, I appreciate you so much for being the first guest.
Thank you, Shay. It was awesome. Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, guys. All
right.
Bye. And that.